What if I told you this giant fruit can grow bigger than a watermelon, weigh as much as a 10-year-old kid, and smell like a mix of bubble gum and something kind of funky? Yep, this is jackfruit, Thailand's superfruit, and it's about to blow your mind. From massive farms to sizzling street food stalls, today we're taking you on a wild ride to see how Thailand grows, harvests, and serves up this beast of a fruit. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll either want to eat jackfruit or at least challenge your friends to lift one. Now, before we get into how these monster fruits are grown, let's talk about why they're such a big deal in Thailand. Jackfruit farming in Thailand isn't just about growing food, it's a family tradition. Farmers have been passing down their jackfruit growing secrets for generations, like some kind of fruity ninja training. And in case you're wondering, no, they don't just wake up one day and decide to grow giant jackfruits. It all starts with choosing the perfect seed, a process so important that some families believe it can decide the future of the entire farm. But jackfruit isn't just a Thai family treasure, it's also one of the most important crops in the region. These trees are drought-resistant, super productive, and can feed entire villages during tough seasons. That's why it's sometimes called the tree of prosperity. And speaking of prosperity, jackfruit is making big money these days. Thailand is one of the world's top exporters of jackfruit, sending it everywhere from the streets of Bangkok to fancy vegan restaurants in New York. Yep, you heard that right. Jackfruit is taking over the world, one burger at a time. By the way, have you ever tried jackfruit before? Let me know in the comments. Is it delicious or just too weird for you? Oh, and while you're here, hit that like button if you love learning about awesome foods from around the world. So, how do these massive fruits grow? Let's find out. All right, so we know jackfruit is a big deal in Thailand. But how do these monster fruits even come to life? Do farmers just plant a seed, water it a little, and boom, a 30-kilogram jackfruit appears? If only it were that easy. It all starts with picking the right seed. Not all jackfruit seeds make the cut, only the best ones from the healthiest, strongest fruits are chosen. Think of it like a reality show, but for jackfruit seeds. Once selected, these tiny seeds are carefully planted in nutrient-rich soil and given plenty of sunlight, because like all tropical superstars, jackfruit trees love to soak up the sun. At first, they're just adorable little seedlings, but don't be fooled. These babies are destined to become giants. After a few months, they grow strong enough to be moved to the main farm. Here's where things get interesting. Jackfruit trees are fast growers. In just a few years, they turn into towering trees that can reach up to 20 meters high. Imagine walking outside and realizing your backyard tree is suddenly the height of a 6-story building. And get this, unlike most fruits that grow on branches, jackfruits grow directly from the tree trunk. Yeah, it's like nature's version of a fruit vending machine. But before these trees can start producing their first fruits, they need years of care and attention. And that's where Thai farmers work their magic. So now that our jackfruit trees are standing tall and ready to grow some serious fruit, how do Thai farmers keep them happy? Well, it turns out that growing a jackfruit isn't just about letting nature do its thing. It's like raising a child, a really big, spiky child that needs a lot of attention. First up is hydration. Just like us, jackfruit trees love water, but not too much. If they get too thirsty, their leaves start drooping like a sad emoji. But overwater them? The roots get soggy, and that's a recipe for disaster. So farmers carefully control the watering schedule, making sure each tree gets just the right amount. During dry seasons, some farmers even set up drip irrigation systems to keep things balanced because, let's face it, nobody likes a cranky, dehydrated tree. Next, pruning. Jackfruit trees can grow massive, and if you just let them go wild, they'll turn into an overgrown jungle. So farmers trim the excess branches to make sure the tree focuses its energy on growing big, juicy jackfruits instead of wasting resources on unnecessary leaves. Then there's fertilization. These trees are basically nutrient-hungry monsters, so farmers add organic compost and natural fertilizers to supercharge their growth. Think of it as a protein shake, but for trees. And of course, we can't forget about pest control. Jackfruit might be delicious, but guess what? Bugs and animals think so too. Farmers have to protect their crops from sneaky invaders like fruit flies, ants, and even monkeys who occasionally swing by for a snack. To keep these little troublemakers away, some farms use natural repellents, while others wrap the jackfruits in protective bags, kind of like putting armor on a fruit. And after all that effort, the trees are finally ready to start producing giant, delicious jackfruits. But how do farmers know when they're ripe and ready for harvest? Well, that's where the real skill comes in. So after years of care, watering, pruning, and fighting off sneaky fruit thieves, it's finally time to harvest these giants. But how do farmers know when a jackfruit is ready? Do they just wait until it falls off the tree and hope for the best? Absolutely not, because if one of these 30-kilogram monsters dropped on your head, well, let's just say it wouldn't be fun. Instead, Thai farmers use an ancient, time-tested technique called the tap test. Yep, they literally knock on the fruit and listen for a hollow sound. If it sounds just right, not too dull, not too sharp, that means it's ripe and ready. Think of it like checking a watermelon, but on expert mode. Once the perfect jackfruits are identified, it's time for the most important part, cutting them down without turning them into jackfruit pancakes. These fruits are too heavy to just pluck like apples, so farmers use long knives and ropes to gently lower them down. It's basically a jackfruit rescue mission. Why so careful? Because jackfruits have a soft, juicy interior. If they hit the ground too hard, they'll bruise and lose their perfect texture. And trust me, nobody wants a mushy jackfruit. Once harvested, the jackfruits are loaded onto carts or trucks and transported straight to the local markets, where they'll be sliced, packaged, and sold fresh. But what happens when they get there? Let's take a trip to Thailand's busiest street markets and find out. Welcome to the heart of Thailand's food scene, the street markets. If you've never been to one, imagine a food lover's paradise, where fresh fruits, sizzling snacks, and delicious aromas fill the air. And right in the middle of all that, jackfruit stacked high, golden and ready to eat. Vendors here are jackfruit pros. They can slice one open in under a minute, expertly removing the sticky latex-like sap and pulling out those sweet, chewy pods like it's an art form. And let's talk about that smell. If you've never had jackfruit before, the aroma is like a mix of pineapple, mango, and bubble gum. It's sweet, tropical, and completely addictive. Now, if you're in a Thai market, you've got options. You can buy fresh jackfruit, neatly packed and ready to eat, or get it prepped for cooking, depending on what you're planning to do with it. And trust me, jackfruit isn't just for snacking. But what exactly can you do with it? Oh, just about 100 things. Let's check out some of the most popular jackfruit-based street foods. Alright, so we know fresh jackfruit is delicious on its own, but Thailand doesn't stop there. Oh no, here, jackfruit gets the full street food treatment. Whether you like it sweet, crispy, or even spicy, there's a jackfruit dish for everyone. First up, we have fresh jackfruit. Simple, delicious, and perfect if you just want a quick, no-fuss snack. It's sweet, chewy, and packed with tropical flavor. And here's a fun fact. Jackfruit is one of the few fruits that gets sweeter the riper it gets, so you can choose your level of sweetness. Next, we've got jackfruit chips because, let's be honest, everything tastes better when it's crispy. These thin slices of jackfruit are deep fried until golden brown and sprinkled with a little sugar or salt. They're light, crunchy, and addictive. Seriously, good luck eating just one. You've heard of mango sticky rice, right? Well, say hello to its underrated cousin, jackfruit sticky rice. The sweet jackfruit pairs perfectly with the creamy coconut rice, making this a must-try for dessert lovers. But jackfruit isn't just about sweets. It also makes one of the best vegetarian curries ever. When it's unripe, jackfruit has a meaty texture that soaks up all the spices, making it a perfect base for spicy Thai curry. It's rich and flavorful, and if you didn't know better, you'd think you were eating pulled chicken. And speaking of meat, jackfruit is now a global sensation because of its pulled pork-like texture. It's become a favorite among vegans and foodies who want that BBQ experience without the meat. So whether you want it sweet, spicy, crispy, or even BBQ'd, jackfruit is one of the most versatile street foods in Thailand. But what happens after the markets? Well, jackfruit isn't just staying in Thailand anymore, it's taking over the world. So we've seen how Thailand grows, harvests, and turns jackfruit into amazing street food. But what if you're watching this from New York, London, or Sydney and wondering, hey, where's my jackfruit? Well, good news, Thailand isn't keeping all this deliciousness to itself. Thailand is one of the biggest exporters of jackfruit on the planet, shipping tons of it to markets in the US, Europe, and beyond. But before jackfruit can travel across the world, it needs a little makeover. So let's talk about how it goes from farm fresh to export ready. Step 1. Sorting and cleaning. First up, sorting. Not every jackfruit is created equal. Some are sold fresh, while others are sent for processing. Only the best, ripest fruits make the cut. After that, they get a nice scrub to remove any dirt before heading to the slicing stage. Step 2. Drying and preserving for longer shelf life. Since fresh jackfruit doesn't last forever, a lot of it is dried to keep its sweet flavor intact. This method turns it into a chewy, naturally sweet snack that can last months without refrigeration. And boom, just like that, jackfruit chips are ready to hit store shelves worldwide. Step 3. Canning and freezing for export. For people who want that fresh jackfruit experience year-round, some fruits are canned in syrup, kind of like how peaches and pineapples are preserved. And for the chefs and foodies, there's also frozen jackfruit, perfect for making curries, smoothies, or even that famous BBQ jackfruit burger. Step 4. Shipping to global markets. Once everything is packed and sealed, it's time for jackfruit's biggest journey, yet heading to supermarkets and restaurants all over the world. So the next time you spot jackfruit in your local store, remember it started its journey on a lush Thai farm, went through careful processing, and traveled thousands of miles just to reach your hands. But here's the big question. What's next for jackfruit? With its growing popularity, could it become the next superfood phenomenon? Let's find out. All right, we've seen how Thailand grows, harvests, and exports jackfruit. But here's the real question. What's next? Could jackfruit become the next global superfood? Will Thai farmers revolutionize the way it's grown? Let's take a look into the future of jackfruit farming. Gone are the days of just planting trees and hoping for the best. Thai farmers are now using technology to monitor soil health, track fruit growth, and even control irrigation with AI-powered sensors. This means less water waste, healthier trees, and bigger, better jackfruits. But here's the catch. Climate change is making things tricky. Rising temperatures and unpredictable weather could affect how jackfruit grows. That's why farmers are now experimenting with drought-resistant techniques, shade growing, and even breeding new super strains of jackfruit that can withstand harsher conditions. And here's something crazy. Jackfruit might actually be one of the most sustainable crops in the world. Unlike other plants that need tons of water and fertilizers, jackfruit trees grow easily, require minimal resources, and produce massive amounts of food. Some experts even believe that jackfruit could help solve global food shortages. With its high nutritional value and ability to replace meat, it's becoming a key player in the future of plant-based diets. But the future isn't just about eating jackfruit raw. Scientists and food companies are experimenting with new ways to turn jackfruit into everything from plant-based meats to high-protein snacks. That's right, you might soon be ordering a jackfruit steak or even jackfruit ice cream. So whether you love it fresh, fried, or turned into BBQ, jackfruit is here to stay, and it's only getting bigger, better, and more popular.